Good morning, everyone. This is Natalia Ito with Colorado Business CPA, where we help business owners to become successful by saving money on taxes, as well as, building a financial wealth. Well, as you know, the House of Representatives passed a $900 billion COVID-19 relief bill yesterday, and that's truly a really good news for business owners. But before we just cover business owners, let's just quickly talk about the $600 stimulus payment to individual and their dependents. So it's a $600 per person, per child as well. And, provided the income is $75,000 or $150,000 if you file married filing joint, right? So the next thing is $120 billion were allocated to provide workers receiving unemployment benefits. Basically you're going to get an extra $300 per week starting from December 26th until March 14, 2021. It also includes, self-employed individuals. It includes gig workers and other non-traditional employment. $25 billion was allocated in emergency rental aid and extension of the national eviction moratorium through January 31st, 2021. So the bill also covers and allocates billions of dollars for transportation, education, and healthcare industry. But of course, the most important, what a lot of us business owners are waiting for is how's this PPP loan is going to be treated? Because you probably know back in November, the IRS says, well, the deductions you used to pay for with your PPP loan proceeds will not be tax deductible, and therefore the loan is going to be taxable. That was everybody was so confused and upset, and finally this bill clarifies that this is not going to happen. So what that means is that the PPP loan is not going to be taxable, and the deductions allocated, to pay with the PPP loan proceeds, remember the payroll and rent and utilities, are also going to be tax deductible on your tax return. So you're truly not going to pay taxes on the PPP loan proceeds. Great news, great news. Another great news is that, remember, if some of you, and most of you probably did receive the EIDL grant, remember there was a grant, not the loan, not the loan that, you probably get a loan for 30 years, but the actual grant. If you had one employee, you would get $1,000 up to $10,000. And then so in the previous information, the previous rulings, it was if you apply, let's say you got a loan for $60,000 and you got a grant for 10, then, they would only forgive you a $50,000. So you would have to pay $10,000. Well, that's not the case anymore. So your PPP loan is not going to be reduced by the EIDL grant you have received. I mean, that's another great news. Not a really good news for some people who rushed to obtain a PPP loan. If you already got approval from the bank and that your loan has been forgiven, unfortunately you will not be covered by this new law. And unfortunately, it looks like you would have to pay taxes basically on the loan. And you probably already know that the loan forgiveness was reduced by the EIDL grant. So that's not a good news. So the next good news is for the round 2 of PPP loans. And I know a lot of business owners are asking when, what, how it's going to happen, right? So it's basically very, very similar, to qualify for the loan is very similar to the first PPP loan, except you have to show a 25% gross revenue decline in any 2020 quarter compared with the same quarter in 2019. Okay, so obviously extremely important for you to start doing the books, if you haven't done so. And then so basically if you want to compare, let's say, second quarter of 2020 to your second quarter of 2019 and see if your revenue decreased in 2020 by at least 25%, you will qualify for the round 2 of PPP loan forgiveness. And of course, working with a lot of business owners, I will say for majority, at least for majority of our clients, might not be the case, so obviously, it's a good news that the 2020 was a good year for some of our business owners, right? But at the same time, we're here to help. We're here to help you to do the books, to kind of help you to figure out if you truly will qualify for the second round of PPP loan. And the sooner you're going to start, if your books are not ready, the sooner you're going to start working on your books, you know, the kind of like more ahead you're going to be in that line, you know, when the banks will start giving people, PPP loans, right? So again, this is one of the main differences. And also good news, remember the terms were, you know, when the way how they calculated that loan, they're saying, okay, well, it has to be 2.5% of your last year payroll. So if you're in a hotel industry or restaurant industry, you can actually have 3.5%, you know, I'm sorry, not 3.5%, 2.5 or 3.5x of the payroll. So again, you know, obviously, you know, the government wants to help restaurant industries. And I think, you know, a lot of restaurant industries will qualify for the round 2 of PPP loans. And, you know, that's a very, very good news. So again, I mean, again, the terms are going to be very similar. You know, you have to use the money to make a payroll, you know, or either over 8-week period or 24, week period. So very, very similar information. So, and then also, you know, the COVID relief bill provides like a simplified application process for the loans of 150,000 or less. Yeah, so it's going to be more streamlined process, and I'm sure now the banks will open their portals and say, okay, let's get to work. And we are here for you. We're here to help you to get your books in order, to help you with the loan applications, you know, forgiveness for the loans. So let's get to work. If you have any questions, please call us 1-800-5040-CPA. We are Colorado Business CPA. Please, you know, like us video if you received the really interesting information, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day. Thank you. Bye-bye.